modern metal guitar glitch. In this video, let's explore a technique which allows you to achieve a modern metal guitar effect, a rapidly firing panned left and right guitar that stutters and creates movement that helps you to lift up your transitions or break down sections and help you really get into the head of your listener with your moving guitar. Let's do it! Initially, I thought that this technique would be quite difficult to execute. As I recorded a short cover for Fit for a King Keeping Secrets, I decided to implement this effect. In the original track, the glitch stutter effect was actually applied for vocals, but because I did an instrumental version, I tried that on guitar and I think it worked quite cool. So here's the cover and let's dive into the technique. I'm Dr. Trubetskov and I'm here to bring valuable information on recording, producing and mixing metal. So, mate, please like and subscribe to let the value travel around. I'm also offering one-on-one coaching sessions where we open up your project in real time and go through your roadblocks in recording heavy music. Link for coaching in description. Let's go. Let me give you some context. We'll look into two examples where this effect is prominent. The first one is Aviana. In this example, you can hear a faint layer of rapidly moving panned guitar, and it is moving fast and creates that sense of anxiety for you as a listener. And another one is this one here, which I really like. That thing again, and you can hear similarities across the two tracks within that effect particularly. So now let's look into creating our own. When you aim to create a stuttering glitch guitar, there are two aspects that matter. The first one is your guitar playing technique, because if you do not perform the actual source material correctly, you cannot glitch it to sound good. And the second aspect is your editing. So let's start with the guitar technique here. And a disclaimer, I'm not a guitar tutor. Right now I'm actually taking lessons to better play 7 and 8 string instruments and to better perform modern metal. And one of the core things that we're currently working on is my muting technique. And that has been a massive improvement in terms of resulting sound. So, obviously, if you cannot achieve the sound that you want, it may be in your hands. If you want to glitch your guitar, however, all you have to do is play some muted dead notes, either 16th or 32nd, or maybe 16th triplet, depending on your song, correctly. And I'll show you what I mean. So, you mute all of the strings with your left hand. Can you hear how much the sound actually changes? If I mute those strings at fret 0, you have one kind of tone. If I move my hand further, it sort of starts to harmonize, not in a good way. Some artificial harmonics become more prominent in the tone. If I mute it at the 12th fret, it sounds better and more muted, more percussive as well. And similarly with your right hand, you gotta make sure that you hit the right strings. What I find is, if you hit the lowest strings or all of the strings, it may sound a bit messy for you. If you hit only the highest strings, it sounds really harsh and piercing and too thin, I believe. And then if you focus on the middle to high strings here, that's where the tone comes from. At least for me, again, please take it with a grain of salt. I'm not going to pretend that I'm here to teach you guitar. All I want to highlight here is that your technique is important and you need to find the right position for your unique scenario in this case here. Now, let's say we have recorded this current take. Sounds okay, could be a bit better, but not bad. And next up, you want to find the right division for the glitch that you want to introduce. If we start with the 16th note here, just cut the take accordingly. The best thing you can do is you can grid those transients. If you want this to sound really, really tight and percussive, I haven't in this case. I performed it as tightly as I could. And now your take sits on the left channel and you just move the odd divisions to the right channel, and this sounds like this now. Pretty cool. But the timing is wrong because it doesn't glitch fast enough, which means that we have to go further and use the 30-second divisions. So let's do that. And the rest of the technique is intact. You just cut it. Make sure that you snap to the grid properly. And then select every odd division and move it to the right channel and take a listen. Exactly the effect that we were hearing in those productions. Really cool and really easy to achieve. And the final thing that you can experiment with is applying a filter for such a part in post on your guitar bus and automating it so that it only comes in when you have this effect applied. But there are caveats here, so let's take a listen to how this sounds. Without. With. I actually like what it's doing. This filter does impact the tonal character of these guitars a little bit with some extra distortion, so you may experiment with a different one, more transparent one. But what happens is that it actually removes the excessive rumble, which I really dislike, and it makes this element more percussive, more clear, and maybe a little bit less harsh when you filter out your top end. So it's definitely a possibility to apply such a filter as well. And so this is literally it. It's a simple technique, but you need to execute it the right way, otherwise it can sound messy or just playing wrong and not achieve the effect that you're after. I'm Dr. Mike Trubetskov. I truly hope that this helps you today. Please let me know in comments how you go with this technique and whether you find this applicable. If you want some one-on-one coaching, hit me up, link in description, and until next time, take care.